Over the past 3 years, I've asked more than 3,000 people all around the world, "Can you teach me your favorite dance move?" I've learned more than 2,000 dance moves from more than 100 countries. And one of the questions I got asked most often, how do you learn dance moves so fast? How did you become a good dancer? And in this video, I'm finally gonna address that. Starting with tip number 1, take classes. Get a real teacher in real life. Now, the internet is a great place. You can learn so much by watching YouTube videos, TikTok tutorials, but nothing will ever replace a real teacher in real life. And the reason for that is because of mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are neurons that you have in your brain who are helping you mirror what another person is doing, which is essentially what dance is all about. You're watching someone doing the dance move and you're mirroring what they're doing to copy them and to learn the dance move. And the thing with mirror neurons is that they work way better in real life when you're in the presence of another human being instead of watching towards a screen. And the reason for that is when you're watching a screen, you only have parts of the information. You only get 2 senses. You're watching what the person is doing and you're hearing what the person is saying, which is good, but it's not everything. When you are in the presence of a real teacher in real life, you also feel them, which is super important with dancing because so much of dancing is actually feeling. You feel the presence of the teacher, their aura, their charisma, their playfulness, their emotion, all these things that make dance what it is. Another sense you're gonna get is touching. A good teacher will touch you with your consent, of course. They will put their hand on your shoulder and they will push you a little bit to the left, to the right, forwards, backwards. They will tell you, put your weight on that leg, do this, do that. This is like learning a sport. You need to be in the presence of a person who can really touch you and indicate you the direction, which you're gonna miss if you just watch videos. You might think you're doing it right, and you can learn for so many weeks the same dance, and you're doing it in your room and stuff, and you think you're doing great. But if you have a real teacher in real life, they can instantly correct you. Every time you're going in the wrong direction, they'll go straight to you and tell you, hey, you might do better if you just do it like this. Tip number 2, pick your teacher wisely. So how do you pick dance classes? How do you pick a teacher? Well, you just go on Google, you type dance class, then the name of the dance you want to learn, for example, hip hop, and then the name of your city, for example, Brussels, like dance class, hip hop, Brussels. That's it. You just scroll, you just click on links, see a website you like, see a teacher you like, and you just give it a try. A lot of dance classes, they offer a free first dance class. Give it a try, or you pay for it. If you like it, you keep going. If you don't like it, then you go to another club. That's it. So let me tell you a story. I lived 3 years in Germany in a city called Leipzig. And the first week I arrived, I wanted to start dance classes of salsa. So I just typed salsa class Leipzig. I clicked on the first link, the first salsa dance school of Leipzig. I went to the class and I started my journey. I met this teacher. I went 2 times per week. I learned from the teacher. I went for 6 months. And then 6 months after, I was in a nightclub, you know, these salsa nights where you go and you dance with everybody. And I meet the teacher in the club and he was dancing with a woman and then he was dancing with another woman. We speak a little bit together. And as I was watching him dance, I realized I don't like his style. I don't like how he's dancing. I don't like his attitude. I don't think he's such a good dancer. And that is why picking your teacher wisely is super important. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna take a lot from your teacher. Even if you don't want to look like them, you're still a human being and you're gonna pick up a lot of the things they're gonna teach you. If you're not really inspired by your teacher, if you don't really enjoy how they're dancing, their attitude, their way of teaching, move on. Get out of the class. Life is too short and there are too many great teachers out there. You have to pick a teacher that has 2 things. First of all, they have to be a dancer that you enjoy watching. Even taking aside the fact that they're a teacher, just watch them as a dancer when they're performing in front of the class, when they're explaining the move. You need to be at least a little bit inspired by how they dance as a dancer. And secondly, they need to inspire you as teacher. You need to think they're really good at teaching. They really care about their students. they explain things well, because these are two different skills. You can be an amazing dancer but a very bad teacher, and you can be a very good teacher but a very bad dancer, which was the case of that guy. He was an amazing teacher, but I was just not inspired by him as a dancer. So I switched and I went to another teacher in the same dance school, and I was so inspired by him because every time I was watching him perform the dance, I was like, oh my god, if I can just be 1% of this guy in terms of dancing. Tip number 3, choose the right dance, the dance you love. Forget about the trends, forget about what everybody is doing, just pick a dance you really love. Ideally, you should learn a dance that even when you're not dancing it, you learn about the music, you learn about the culture, you just can't get enough of that dance, that culture. You're gonna get so much better learning that dance because you love it. I started with hip hop, I really loved it. I did other dances like rock and roll, Lindy hop, a lot of different dances throughout my life. But it's only when I discovered Cuban salsa, which is very precise, it's only when I discovered that dance that people started stopping me in dance clubs like salsa clubs, nightclubs, and asking me, do you give classes? Like, how did you learn to dance like that? This is when I became really good because I just loved that dance so much. Tip number 4, be humble. Now is the time to become a student, to be humble enough to allow yourself to really receive the education from the teacher, to really trust them. You want to put yourself in the position of almost a kid who's learning the language from their parents. This is why kids are so good at learning things fast. They are in a position of inferiority. They know their parents are more knowledgeable than them. So they just absorb everything from their parents because they know, well, I'm the kid, I have to learn from them. And this is something we lose as adults. We kind of think that, yeah, I know, like I'm an adult, it's fine, I know what to pick. And I've been guilty of that many times. But trust me, once you've picked the teacher wisely and the dance that you really like, you have to trust the teacher. They have 20 years of experience behind them. They've danced this dance so many times. Chances are that they belong to the culture of the dance that they are teaching you. For example, if they teach you salsa, maybe they come from Latin America and have danced it in the streets since they were a kid. You have to trust them. So many times when I was in the dance class, the teacher was repeating me, stick to the basic, do the step again, do it again. And I was like, come on, let's just go fast. Let's learn another move and another move. And he was like, no, you're not ready yet. Learn the basic move again. Basically, you have to trust them. You have to trust the process. They know what they're doing. They will make you repeat over and over the same basic step because it has to really become part of you. It has to become like second nature. Tip number 5, dance every day for 5 minutes. That's it. That's all I'm gonna ask you to do. This is the whole concept of consistency and building habits. This is gonna be way more effective to dance every day for 5 minutes than to dance every Sunday for 2 hours. If you look at it, you will dance more minutes if you dance every Sunday for 2 hours than if you dance every day for 5 minutes. But trust me, you're gonna be such a better dancer if you dance every day for 5 minutes. Basically, what you need to do with dancing, just like with any sport, is to build muscle memory. You need to teach your muscles to remember the moves. And the only way to do that is by doing it every day. Every day. Doing it once per week is never gonna be enough, because if you dance every Sunday for 2 hours, you're gonna have Monday to Saturday to just forget about it. And then on Sunday again, you're gonna reactivate it, but every time it's gonna take some time for your brain to remember what you learned the past Sunday. Whereas if you just dance every day for 5 minutes, you will never have to get ready again in your life. Your body is just gonna remember it. Think about a kid. When they learn about walking, they do it every day. Every day they fall, they get back up. Same with language. Their parents are every day teaching them new words. They're speaking with them. You have to do it every day. Like, you can miss one day, it's fine. But the thing is, like, you want to lower the task as much as possible in order for it to become attainable. Basically, if you're telling yourself, I'm gonna dance 1 hour every day, it's not gonna happen. Life is gonna happen to you. You're gonna have some obligations. You're gonna have school or your work. You're gonna forget about it. But if you just do it 5 minutes, it's gonna be like super simple. Everybody has 5 minutes to do something. You just pick one music that you like. You put your headphones or you put your speaker and you just dance your heart out for 5 minutes every day. This is what I did for so many years. And then the amazing things happen. 5 minutes turn into 10 minutes, turn into 20 minutes, and Sooner or later, boom, you're dancing 30 minutes per day, 40 minutes per day. And some days, after 5 minutes, you'll be like, I'm done. That's all I had. But at least you've done your part of the contract. Make a contract with yourself that you're gonna commit to dance at least 5 minutes per day. Tip number 6, get out of the house and find a community. If you only take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Your real journey as a dancer only starts when you start dancing with other people. Now, I understand some of you watching this might be introverted and shy, and you might want to spend more time dancing in your room by yourself where it's safe, and I totally get it. And of course, you should do that as much as you can if that makes you feel safe and you really enjoy it. And I'm just gonna tell it to you, but at the core, I'm an introvert and pretty shy person myself. And it still costs me, and I'm still getting a little bit anxious every time I go to a dance class and there are like 30 people. So of course, it's gonna be harder if you're an introvert, if you're shy, but please bear with me, try it. Step out of your comfort zone, gather some courage, and really try to be involved in the community. Finding a community in dance is usually pretty easy because every dance in the world has a community. For example, let's say you dance salsa. There is a salsa community in pretty much every city in the world. You have to go like to events where people are dancing the dance that you love. Going to dance classes is never gonna be enough, but going to events is just gonna get like so much better. So when I was dancing salsa in Germany, I would go to dance classes, but it's only when I started going to events like salsa nights, salsa afternoon, and this is where I learned way more. When you get a teacher, you get the first level of relationship. The teacher is teaching you as a student and you have a relationship with the teacher. When you dance with yourself, you have the second level of relationship, the relationship with yourself. You're just dancing by yourself, expressing your emotions, and you're really enjoying it. But then what's gonna really make you an amazing dancer is when you reach the third level of relationship. And that's the relationship you have with the community, with people who love that dance as well. A community doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be as simple as just 2 people. When I was a teenager, I loved dancing breakdance and hip hop. So I was going to dance classes and I was also learning by myself and dancing every day in my room. But one day at school, I realized that another kid really loved hip hop as well and breakdance. And so we just agreed to meet every week in his garden to learn some dance moves together. So I was coming to his house. He was living like 200 meters away from me, and we would just like put some mattresses on the grass and some music, and we would just break dance for 2 hours. We looked stupid, but it didn't matter. And we learned so much from each other. But more importantly than that, we played. We had some fun. And that's the most important thing in dance. You want to keep it like playful and casual. And that's what you have when you're dancing with a friend. That's a very good tip for super introverted people. Like that might be very hard to just go in a community, like go to a dance battle or a super big event. Just take 1 or 2 friends and go to a park and dance together and learn from each other. When you take the hip hop has a huge community. They do local events, they do open mics, freestyles, battles, competitions. Then you take the salsa community. It's huge as well. You have like local events, dance parties, like during the weekends. These are the events you want to go to. This is more important than the dance class because at some point you will realize that you've learned the steps. Let me tell you a story. So when I arrived in Leipzig in Germany, I started going to dance classes and I had a partner because like these are dance schools where you have to bring a partner with you. So we were learning the figures together. And then after a couple of weeks, I went to a salsa club to actually dance with other people. And that was a revelation because in the same room, they were full of people who really loved salsa. They loved the music, they loved the dance, they loved the culture, and there were a lot of Latino people. Everybody was speaking Spanish. I just loved it. I danced with so many people. I looked stupid. I didn't know a lot of figures. I was really bad, but I didn't care. I had a lot of fun. And after a few weeks, I go back to my dance class and my partner, we dance together and she's like, hey, there is something changed about you. Like you dance better. Like how did you learn these figures? Like how did you get this rhythm? And I told her, well, I just discovered the most amazing thing. I just go to salsa club every Friday and I just dance there with like 15 different girls. And then I watch the guys dancing as well, have a drink for 20 minutes and just watch the people dancing and I listen to the music. Sometimes there is a live band who's playing and I'm just like speaking with people, with Latinos. I'm asking them, hey, can you teach me like, how do you do that? And I Shazam all the song, and then I come back home and I listen to the music. This is like the life-changing thing. And I learned so much more by doing this than by following the regular classes. Basically, you need the regular classes in order to learn the steps, but then you need to put these steps into practice. I'm still friends to this day with people that I met 7-8 years ago because we belong to the same community, we love the same dance. And when you're gonna feel down, you're just gonna call your friends or your community and they're gonna be like, no, keep going, you got this. This is what's gonna make you an amazing dancer. A couple of reasons why dancing with a community is so formative is because it is an informal environment. When you're dancing in a school, like in the dance class, it can feel very formal. But as human beings, we learn even better when we are playing, when it feels like playful and when you have a lot of joy doing it. Dancing with friends is the best thing with that because it doesn't feel like you're learning. And this is a perfect way and a perfect moment to learn as human beings. Like, this is how we learn so much better. Now, how do you find a community? You just go on Google and you just type the name of the dance you like, and then you type night. For example, you type your city, like Brussels, salsa night, Brussels, Lindy Hop night, and you just go to these events. And you don't have to dance. You don't have, just commit to yourself to just go there, enjoy, have a glass of water there or like a tea or a coffee and just watch it. Sooner or later, you'll start dancing. You'll make like acquaintances with other people and you will become part of the community. Tip number 7, understand the culture. Look, there is no dance in the world that is just a collection of steps that just randomly happens and that you just do. It doesn't exist. Hip hop is not just a dance. Lindy Hop is not just a dance. It is always a culture, it is always a lifestyle, it is always way more than that. It is a community, it is a journey, it is history, it is everything. And it is your job as a dancer to get into that. There is no dance in the world that just randomly happened. Usually this is part of a geographical region. It happened there for a certain reason. It is a way of living. And the more you're gonna learn about the culture, the better a dancer you're gonna become. When I was a kid, I was fascinated by hip hop. But not just the dance, I was fascinated by everything. Hip hop is not just dancing, it is music, it is culture. This is also the way you dress, this is the way you speak. And when I was a kid, I wanted to do everything. So I was dressing hip hop, my friends loved hip hop, I was listening to the music, I was even trying to rap, I was doing graffiti on papers at school, I was learning about DJing, I was doing everything, I was obsessed with it. And I genuinely believe that it made me a better hip hop dancer by learning about everything around hip hop. And I did the same with salsa. When I started dancing salsa, I was not just dancing. I was listening to the music every single day. I was watching movies about salsa. I learned Spanish. I learned the language. I wanted to learn about the history, why this dance came about, why these moves, like what is the meaning. And it is your job as a dancer, if you really want to become good, to learn about that. When you really dig deeper, the culture is always beautiful. It's going to teach you how to dance it, not only like the steps, but like the intention behind it. And also over the long run, this is something that's gonna make you unstoppable in life. Because even if I get bored, which is never gonna happen, I will never get bored of the culture, of the music, of the lyrics, of the history. Normally, a good teacher should teach you about that. This is why it's so great to have a teacher who's from the culture of the dance. Tip number 8, be in a relationship with the dance. This goes with the culture thing. Even when you're not dancing, you should spend some time every day in relationship with the dance. Let me tell you a story about that. I really love learning languages, and I was one day at this conference where there was this one lady who knew like 20 languages, and she was teaching about how to learn languages. And she was telling us that she was learning Swahili at the moment, which is an African language. And she told us, my secret is that I make a rule for myself to spend every day 1 hour with the language. I don't have to learn about grammar, I don't have to learn about vocabulary, I just need to spend 1 hour every day with the language. So I can watch a movie, I can listen to some music, I can try to watch the news in Swahili. And it's kind of the same thing with dancing. You want to learn about the dance and you want to be like involved with the dance every day. It doesn't have to be 1 hour, but to spend some time with the dance every day, even when you're not dancing. So you're going to the dance classes, you're dancing by yourself in your home, you're dancing with some friends, you're going to the community, to the local events, you're going full immersion by going to a weekend. But then what you want want to do as well is you want to spend time just with the dance. You know, when you're commuting, when you're in your car, when you're in the train, you want to listen to the music, you want to watch a movie that talks about it, you want to read about the history and everything, just to really get involved with the dance. I had this hip-hop teacher where we would ask him, why are you so good at pop and locking? Like, this is a certain type of hip hop. And he was telling us, well, it's simple. I always do it. I would be in the tram. I would just like kind of train myself to do it. Tip number 9, record yourself. This is like game changing, honestly, especially nowadays, like everybody has a phone with a camera. But this is the one thing that a lot of us, we're not really doing, but it's the one simple trick that can really make you a better dancer. Try to record yourself from time to time. Don't put too much pressure, but watching yourself on the screen after, you're gonna be aware of everything you're doing that is not right. So you're gonna be like, oh, actually my posture was not that good. My expression, I could give more energy. Usually this is the thing you're gonna learn. You can even show that to a teacher or to a friend. And I really believe that this is one of the reasons why the people who are on social media and who are creating content, they become really good, really fast at dancing, is because they always record themselves. So they always see like the flaws and the things that can be improved. You don't have to post, you don't have to become a social media person. I just mean that from time to time, record yourself and see the flaws that you have, and also celebrate your success. It's like people who go to the gym and they do a before and after, like they take a picture of themselves on day 1 and then they take a picture of themselves after 100 days and they see like, oh, I lost like that amount of kilograms and I look better. And it's the same with dancing. You film yourself on day 1 and then every day you kind of record yourself. And then on day 100, you'll be like, wow, I'm so transformed. Like I'm so more flowing and I look much better. I give more energy. My facial expression is better. So you learn so much by recording yourself, and I really encourage you to do it. Tip number 10, respect yourself. Know yourself. This is probably the most important advice that I'm gonna give in this video, and that might be the one that not everyone wants to hear, but you have to respect yourself and you have to respect the process. The problem with dancing is that most of us think about it as an art, and it's an art form. It's like music, it's like theater, it's like drawing, painting, sculpting. It is art. But the things a lot of us forget is that not only is it an art, it's also a sport. And just like in any sport, you need some recuperation, you need some rest, you need to go with your body, not against your body, know your limits and not push too hard. Otherwise, you will get hurt, you will get injured. And then what did you win? It is better to stop 20 minutes before breaking than to lose 1 month of your dancing life because you're just too injured to dance. And I've been guilty of this many times. I've pushed myself way too hard, way too fast, and then I ended up with an injury. And for 1 month I could not sleep. And then I went to the physiotherapist and he was like, what did you do? And I was like, I danced too hard. And I was like, why? Didn't you feel it was getting hurtful? And I was like, yeah, but I wanted to keep going. Respect yourself. Know your limits. Stretch before. Trust your teacher. And don't over push yourself, please. And that goes also with don't compare yourself to others. Now, you will compare yourself to others. This is just part of life. We are human beings and we constantly compare ourselves to each other, especially now with social media. You will be in a dance class and you will see other students and you will go to this like local events or like this dance party and you will compare yourself to others. But please, like, celebrate your wins and be your own dancer. This is your journey as a dancer. And also be aware that dancing, just like everything in life, is a very personal thing, and everybody has their own qualities and flaws and facilities and more difficulties, easiness, difficultness, like all these kind of things, they apply to dance just like they apply to life. But maybe you will start dancing and you will realize that you're not learning as fast as other people. I'm telling you, it's fine. You're doing it first and foremost for yourself. This is your journey, this is your enjoyment. Life is too short to just like push yourself too hard. And last tip, enjoy. Have fun. Dance with your heart, dance with your emotions, dance with your face, do some expressions, become really who you are. This is one amazing thing with dance, is that it really helps you become somehow the best version of yourself, to really have like all these emotions that you keep inside yourself. You kind of put them outside with the dancing, and you're not only dancing with your body, you're also dancing with your face, with your feelings, with your heart, with your guts, with all of these things. Surprisingly enough, that will make you a way better dancer as well. It's kind of counterintuitive. Like, you might think that you have to push really hard and really struggle and really put your head down and just do the reps, and you certainly have to do that at some point. But you're gonna get so much better by enjoying the process, because when you're gonna feel lazy, tired or whatever, you're gonna be like, yeah, but I enjoy it so much. It's my way to like feel joy in life. Just imagine two dancers. Dancer number one is the one who's grinding every day for 1 year, pushing themselves, and they don't really like it, but they're like, yeah, I have to do it, whatever. And then imagine dancer number two, who's every day showing up and is like, I'll enjoy it. I really like it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Guess who's gonna be better after 1 year? Of course, the one who's enjoying it, because he's always gonna be playful, he's gonna learn way faster, it's just gonna be more enjoyable over the long run. It might sound cheesy, but at the end of the day, this is what makes an amazing dancer. If you really dance with your heart, with your emotion, and by being really enjoying the process, I guarantee you, you're gonna be the best dancer you can potentially be. And at the end of the day, that's the whole thing you should be aiming for. Don't try to be the best dancer ever. Try to be your best version of an amazing dancer, because everybody's gonna dance differently, because we all have a different body, we all have different emotions. And if you really want to completely do the journey of dancing, you have to just become your version of a dancer and to really fully embrace your emotions, your personality, your way of dancing, and just become the best dancer you can be. So I wish you more than luck. I guess the title was a bit misleading. It's not how to become an amazing dancer, it's how to become your amazing dancer, your unique amazing dancer. So try to do that. Keep dancing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another video.